All right, so we are ready to really dig into this
Oh, yeah.
article about getting to Montserrat from
Tremendous.
Barcelona. This is Easiest and Fastest Route to Montserrat from Barcelona, published pretty recently on November 26th, 2024. And it looks like we've got a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to get up to Montserrat,
Mhm.
and they've got a pretty good breakdown of the pros and cons of each one in
Yeah.
this article, so it'll be fun.
For those who may not know, I mean, I'm sure most of our listeners are pretty familiar with Montserrat, but maybe
Yeah.
this is
Yep.
like a refresher for folks.
Yeah.
Give us that like quick elevator pitch, like what's the big deal with Montserrat? Why is everyone so obsessed with going there?
Well, Montserrat is this mountaintop monastery
Oh, okay.
outside of Barcelona,
Yep.
and it's not just a monastery. It's almost like this magical place.
Mm.
I mean, it's got incredible views, tons of history, a really cool spiritual vibe.
Hmm.
And it's just a really unique place to visit. You can go hiking, you can see the Black Madonna statue.
Right.
It's just one of those places you kind of have to see to believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the article jumps into a bunch of different routes you can take to get up there. I'm curious, from your perspective, if you were standing there in Barcelona about to head up to Montserrat for the day, which one kind of jumps out at you as like the most appealing?
Well, the train and rack railway combo is the most popular.
Okay.
That's what most people do, and probably for good reason. It's pretty straightforward. You start by taking the R5 train from Plaza España
Gotcha.
in Barcelona, and that takes you to a town called Monistrol de Montserrat. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. But the cool thing is,
Yeah.
you get to see some of the Catalonian countryside.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's got to be a nice little scenic ride on its own.
It is.
Even before.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
Then, from Monistrol,
Yeah.
you get on this thing called the Cremallera de Montserrat. That's the rack railway.
All right, hold on. Rack railway. What does that even mean?
So basically, a train that goes straight up the side of a mountain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It only takes about 20 minutes to get to the monastery from there, but you get some seriously breathtaking views along the way. I mean,
So it's quite an
it's very
experience.
steep then. Like, you're really
Well,
climbing this mountain.
it's definitely steep, but that's part of the fun,
Yeah,
it's like a little adventure in itself.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so practicalities here. The article mentions a top Montserrat ticket. What's the deal with that?
So that's basically your all-inclusive ticket.
Okay.
It covers the train, the rack railway, and a few other things up on the mountain.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's 69 euros, which might sound like a lot,
Yeah.
but when you consider everything it includes, it's a pretty good value. Plus, it's just convenient. You don't have to worry about buying separate tickets.
Right.
Yeah, you just
Simplifies things.
pop on and go. Okay, that makes sense. But say you're someone who likes, I don't know, maybe a little bit more excitement, a little
Yeah.
bit more of a thrill on your journey.
Okay. I see where you're going with it.
Is there a faster way to get up that mountain?
If you're not into the slow and steady approach,
Yeah,
there's always the Area de Montserrat cable car.
right.
Now, that's a 5-minute ride
Whoa.
from the same town, Monastrol. But instead of chugging up the mountainside,
Okay.
you're soaring over it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the views are just spectacular.
5 minutes. It almost seems too quick.
It is quick, yeah, but trust me, those 5 minutes are packed with some of the most incredible scenery you'll ever see.
I bet. I bet. Okay, so how does that compare price-wise to the train?
Well, it's actually pretty comparable. For adults, the cable car is under 10 euros each way,
Wow, okay.
and the train is around the same. Plus, they have discounts for children and seniors, too.
Got it.
So it's not like one is significantly more expensive than the other. It really comes down to what kind of experience you're looking for.
Yeah.
One is kind of a leisurely journey through the countryside. The other one is a bit of a thrill ride
Right.
with these panoramic views. So,
That's a good point. It's not always just about the cheapest option. It's about what kind of experience you want to have, right?
exactly.
Totally, totally. Okay, so the article mentions these things called funiculars. What are those all about?
So, funiculars are basically like mini cable cars
Okay,
that operate within Montserrat itself.
okay.
They're not about getting you to Montserrat, but more about getting you around to different parts of the mountain once you're there.
Gotcha. So they're like little mountain shuttles.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Like, once you're up there, you might want to go to the very peak or down to a specific cave.
Right, right.
And that's where the funiculars come in.
Makes sense, makes sense. And I see the article talks about two of them specifically, the funicular de Saint Joan and the funicular de Santa Cuva.
Right.
What's the difference between those two?
So St. Joan, that's the one that takes you to the tippy top of Montserrat, like the highest point. So if
Right.
you're into hiking or just want those crazy panoramic views, that's the one you take.
So that's for the more adventurous types.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it. What about Santa Cova?
Santa Cova is actually a downward journey.
Oh, okay.
It takes you down to this cave called Santa Cova. It's a really important site in Montserrat's history, because legend has it. That's where the image of the Black Madonna was first discovered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a popular spot for pilgrims and anyone interested in the religious significance of Montserrat.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So basically, you've got a funicular for every kind of experience. If you want the highest views, take St. Joan. If you want a bit of history and spirituality, take Santa Cova. Makes sense. But hold on, before we get too caught up in logistics,
Yeah.
I'm dying to know more about this Black Madonna.
Oh, yeah.
It's mentioned a lot in the article,
Yeah.
but we don't really get the whole story.
Right, so the Black Madonna is this wooden statue of the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus.
Okay.
But what makes it unique is that, well, it's black.
Black. Like, intentionally.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one knows for sure why it's black. There are a
Wow.
lot of theories, Some say it's because of the type of varnish that was used. Others say it's from centuries of candle smoke.
Oh, interesting.
But the mystery just adds to the intrigue,
Yeah, for sure.
People have been making pilgrimages to see this statue for hundreds of years.
Oh.
And there are all these stories about miracles and answered prayers.
So it's more than just a statue then. It's like
Yeah.
a whole symbol.
It's a powerful symbol of faith and devotion for a lot of people. I mean, it's really quite something to see it in person, surrounded by all that history and energy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's pretty special.
I can imagine. All right, well, let's bring it back down to earth for a second. The article has this section called Insider Tips, and I'm thinking these are pretty crucial for anyone planning a trip to Montserrat. What's the first one that jumps out at you?
The first one is definitely buy your tickets online.
Yeah.
I cannot stress that enough. Especially if you're going during peak season, the lines can be crazy long.
Oh, I bet.
And no one wants to waste their precious vacation time standing in line, right?
Right.
So book those tickets ahead of time. The article mentions a website called Tech Tickets.
Okay.
That seems to be a reliable option.
Awesome. Good to know. What else?
Another important tip, especially if you're planning on using the funiculars or the cable car,
Uh-huh.
check the maintenance schedules.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll be closed for maintenance, especially during the off-season.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get all the way up there and be disappointed.
Right. That would be the worst.
So just double-check the schedules before you go.
Good call. Okay. This one is maybe a little more obvious, but I think it's always worth repeating. Wear comfortable shoes.
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to be doing a lot of walking.
Yes, definitely.
Harris.
Even if you're not planning on doing any serious hiking,
Right.
you're still going to be walking around the monastery,
Yeah.
exploring different areas, maybe going from one funicular station to another.
Yeah, totally.
So comfortable shoes are a must. Trust me, your feet will thank you.
I can only imagine. And I'm guessing comfortable shoes also means
Oh, yeah.
good for hiking, right? Because we haven't even talked about
Right.
the hiking trails themselves yet.
You haven't.
And the article makes them sound pretty epic.
They are epic.
Mm-hmm.
Montserrat is a hiker's paradise.
Really?
Seriously. There are trails for every level,
Oh, wow.
from easy strolls to challenging climbs.
Okay.
And the views.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine standing on top of one of those peaks, surrounded by all those jagged mountains.
Yeah.
It's breathtaking.
So being realistic here, not everyone listening is an experienced hiker. If you're a novice, what should you keep in mind?
Well, first of all, know your limits.
Yeah.
Don't try to tackle a trail that's beyond your fitness level or experience.
Right.
There are plenty of easier trails that still offer incredible views. And of course, pack your camera.
Oh, of course.
You'll want to capture all those amazing moments.
Right. And I'm guessing snacks and water are a must, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Especially if you're planning to spend a few hours out on the trails.
Yeah.
There are places to eat at Montserrat, but it's always a good idea to have some snacks and water with you, just in case. Plus, there's something really special about enjoying a picnic lunch with a view like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can't beat that. Okay, so we've talked transportation, exploration, even a little bit of history and legend.
Yeah.
But what about the cost of all this?
Right, so let's talk budget.
Yeah.
We mentioned the top Montserrat ticket earlier.
Right.
That's a pretty good deal at 69 euros,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you plan on doing a lot of the included activities.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to save some money,
Mm-hmm.
individual tickets are an option.
Okay.
And there are often discounts for kids, seniors, and families.
That's good to know. And beyond just the transportation, what else should our listener factor in?
Well, it depends on your travel style.
Sure.
If you're on a tight budget, you can definitely save money by packing your own lunch and snacks,
Right.
and you can explore the mountain on foot instead of relying on the funiculars all the time.
Yeah,
That's a great way to get some exercise and see some amazing views without spending any extra money.
absolutely. But let's say you're not so worried about the budget and you really want to immerse yourself in the Montserrat experience.
Okay, yeah.
What would you recommend?
If you're looking to splurge a little, consider a guided tour.
Oh, okay.
They can really enhance your experience,
Yeah,
give you deeper insights into the history, the culture, the legends.
right.
Plus, they often take you to some hidden gems that you might miss if you were exploring on your own.
That's a good point.
And if you're a foodie, definitely splurge on a meal at one of the restaurants up there.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them have incredible panoramic views.
Oh, I bet.
Definitely a meal to remember.
So whether you're a budget traveler or you're looking to treat yourself,
Right.
there's a way to experience Montserrat that fits your style and your wallet.
Exactly. And one thing's for sure, no matter how you get there or what you choose to do,
Yeah,
it's going to be an unforgettable experience.
absolutely. Montserrat is one of those places that just sticks with you
Oh, well.
long after you've left.
Absolutely.
It's truly special.
It really is. Okay, so we were talking about funiculars.
Right, those little mountain shuttles
Yeah,
to
exactly.
get you around.
So we touched on the two main ones, St. Joan and Santa Cova.
Mhm.
St. Joan, that takes you
Yeah, St. Joan for the view.
to the very top, like the
Oh.
highest point you can get to on Montserrat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. So if you're into hiking
Yeah?
or you just want those crazy panoramic views, that's the funicular to take. And then there's Santa Cova, which goes down instead of up.
Right, right.
That one takes you to this cave, Santa
Yeah.
Cova, and legend has it that's where the image of the Black Madonna was discovered.
Oh, so that's like a really
Right.
significant
A very important place.
place then.
Yeah, it's a big deal for pilgrims and anyone who's interested in the religious side of Montserrat.
That's fascinating. It's almost like there's a funicular for every kind of experience you want to have.
Right. It's pretty cool how they've got it set up.
Yeah, yeah. But speaking of the Black Madonna, we talked about it a bit earlier.
You did, yeah.
But I feel like we need to dive a little deeper. What's the story there?
So the Black Madonna, it's a wooden statue of the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's black, like really black.
Is that like on purpose?
Well, that's the mystery, right? No one knows for sure why it's black.
Mm.
There are all sorts of theories. Some people say it's from the type of varnish they used.
Okay.
Others say it's from centuries of candle smoke,
Interesting.
but no one knows for sure.
That's so cool. It's like it just adds to the
Oh, it makes it even more special.
aura of the place.
Exactly. And people have been making pilgrimages to see this statue for centuries.
Wow.
Centuries. And there are all these stories of miracles
Wow.
and answered prayers associated with it. It's pretty powerful stuff.
So it's really more than just a statue then.
Oh, yeah. It's a symbol of faith and devotion for a lot of people.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, well, let's get back to some of the practical stuff.
Right.
The article had this section called Insider Tips,
Right.
which I think are super helpful for anyone planning a trip. So what's the first tip that jumps out at you?
Buy your tickets online.
Okay, yeah,
That is crucial, especially if you're going during peak season.
right.
The lines can be ridiculously long.
I bet.
And you don't want to waste your precious vacation time waiting in line, right?
No, absolutely not.
So do yourself a favor and book online. The article mentioned a website called Tech Tickets.
Okay,
I haven't used it personally, but it seems to be a good option.
awesome. What else? What else?
Another important tip, especially if you're planning on using the funiculars or the cable car,
Mm-hmm.
check the maintenance schedules.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, you don't want to get all the way up there
Right.
and realize that the thing you wanted to do is closed for maintenance.
Yeah, that would be so disappointing.
Right. Especially during the off-season, it's always a good idea to double-check the schedules.
Makes sense. Okay, this next one is a little more obvious,
Yeah.
but I think it's always worth repeating. Wear comfortable shoes.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
You're going to be doing a lot of walking up there.
So much walking. Even if you're not planning on hiking,
Right.
you'll be exploring the monastery,
Yeah.
walking between different areas.
Totally.
Trust me, your feet will thank you.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So I'm guessing comfortable shoes
Oh, for sure.
also means good for hiking.
Yeah, especially if you plan on doing any of the trails.
Right, because we haven't even talked about those yet.
I know, right?
And the article makes them sound pretty incredible.
They are incredible. Montserrat is like a hiker's paradise.
Really?
Seriously. There are trails for all levels,
Wow.
from easy strolls to, like, legit challenging climbs.
Oh, wow.
And the views from those trails are just, I mean, words can't even describe it.
So for someone listening who's not a super experienced hiker,
Right.
what should they keep in mind?
Well, first and foremost, know your limits.
Yeah.
Don't try to do a trail that's beyond your fitness level or experience.
Right, right.
There are plenty of easier trails that still have amazing views. And bring your camera.
Of course.
You're going to want to capture those views for sure.
Absolutely. And snacks and water, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially if you're going to be out there for a few hours.
Yeah, it's always good to have some snacks and water on hand, just in case. Plus, there's something magical about having a picnic lunch
Oh, yeah.
with those views. Just taking it all in.
Can't beat that. Okay, so we've covered transportation, exploration, even a little bit of history and legend. But what about the budget?
Right, let's talk money.
Yeah, yeah.
So we talked about the top Montserrat ticket earlier,
Right.
which is a pretty good deal. It's 69 euros, especially if you plan on doing a lot of the included activities.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to save a little cash,
Yeah.
individual tickets are definitely an option.
Okay.
And don't forget to check for discounts.
Oh, right, right.
They often have discounts for kids, seniors, families, stuff like that.
Good to know. And beyond just the transportation costs, what else should people factor in?
It really depends on your travel style.
Yeah.
If you're on a tight budget, you can definitely save money by packing your own lunch and snacks
Yeah.
and exploring the mountain on foot instead of taking the funiculars everywhere.
Right.
That's a
Yeah.
great way to get some exercise and see some amazing views without spending any extra cash.
Totally. But let's say you're not as worried about the budget and
Oh.
you really want to go all out
Yeah.
for the Montserrat experience. What would you recommend?
Well, if you're looking to splurge a bit, I definitely recommend a guided tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they can really add another dimension to your experience.
Yeah.
Give you a deeper understanding of the history, the culture, the legends.
Right.
And they often take you to some hidden spots that you might not find on your own.
That's a good point.
And if you're a foodie, definitely splurge on a meal at one of the restaurants up there.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them have these incredible panoramic views.
I bet.
It's definitely a meal you won't forget.
So whether you're on a budget or you're looking to treat yourself,
Yeah,
there's a way to experience Montserrat that fits your style and your wallet.
exactly. And at the end of the day, no matter how you get there or what you choose to do up there,
Yeah.
it's going to be an unforgettable experience. Montserrat is one of those places that just stays with you,
It really is. It's so special. As we've been talking about all this stuff about Montserrat, it's really striking me that it's not just like a one-size-fits-all destination.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not. It really isn't. You could have two people go to Montserrat and have completely different experiences,
Right.
but they could both come away just like blown away by it.
Totally, totally. Like if you're a history buff,
Hmm?
you've got the monastery itself.
Oh, yeah.
This like architectural marvel,
Incredible history.
centuries old. And then there's the Black Madonna with all the mystery and legend surrounding it.
Right. And for someone who's maybe on more of a spiritual journey,
Yeah,
Montserrat has a completely different energy.
totally.
It's like a pilgrimage site,
Uh-huh.
a place where people go to connect with their faith.
Right. Seek some solace.
Yeah, yeah. And then you've got the nature lovers,
Mhm.
the hikers, the photographers,
Oh, yeah.
drawn to the beauty of the mountain itself.
The mountain is incredible.
It's like this natural playground with trails for every level.
For everyone.
Whether you're, a seasoned hiker or you just want to take a leisurely stroll.
Yeah, and the views from those trails are just out of this world. It's really no wonder Montserrat is such a popular destination. It's like it really does tick all the boxes.
It does.
History, spirituality, nature, adventure. It's got it all.
Yeah, and the thing is, even with all the visitors,
Yeah.
it still has this really peaceful feeling.
That's what I find so fascinating about it.
Yes.
It's this bustling tourist spot,
Mm-hmm.
but it also has this serene, almost sacred feeling to it.
Right. It's like a place that just invites you to slow down,
Yeah.
disconnect from all the chaos,
Yeah.
reconnect with, I don't know, something bigger than yourself.
Totally, totally. So to wrap things up for our listener who's planning their big Barcelona adventure,
Yeah.
a trip to Montserrat, it's a must-do.
It's non-negotiable.
Make it happen.
However you get up there.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
The train, the cable car,
Yeah.
even hiking.
Yep.
You're going to have an amazing time.
You're going to love it.
And remember, it's not just about getting to the top.
Yeah.
It's about the whole experience.
The journey.
Yeah, the journey. The exploration, the awe, the wonder.
Those moments that just take your breath away.
Exactly.
So as you're planning your trip,
Mm-hmm.
think about what you're most drawn to, what kind of experience you're hoping for.
Yeah.
And then let that guide you as you choose your path.
Exactly.
Discover the magic of Montserrat for yourself.
And with that,
Happy travels, everyone.
happy travels.
We'll catch you on our next deep dive to the